Hello, welcome back to part 3 of this message. And I was talking about the fact that some people are not willing to go through the process. The guy is paralyzed from the neck down. So he asks his partner, do a mercy killing on me. Just turn the button off. Just turn it off. No. And his partner sitting there telling him, you realize you could go through rehab. You could get use of your limbs. You could go through a process, and in time, you may be able to regenerate and renew your body and be fully restored. And he said, no, just take me out of here. There are people, when they think of the thought of the process, just the thought of the process. Now take me, we ain't doing that. That sounds way too hard. That's too much work. Tell me you don't know somebody that you give them more than 2 or 3 steps to do, they having a panic attack. Oh my God. I know people. Do this, do this, do this. That's too many steps, man. What you mean? That's too many steps. What you mean I gotta ask for help? What you mean? What you mean I gotta go through seasons and processes? That's too much. Elijah, I done did. I'm done. I done did enough. I done helped enough. I'm tired. I don't want to do no more. This was too much. I'll be alright. You realize that if you take a person's head, it takes out the body. Perfect example. You see all of these people running around here mentally ill. Number one thing that pharmaceutical companies are making money off of right now. I was dealing with mental issues. Scripture says that God gives you power, love, and a sound mind. I will not conform unto this world, but be ye transformed in the renewing of my mind. Some people think it's too much work to renew their mind, because it's not just the renewal of the mind, it's the renewal of the body, the belief system, fighting against those memories, pulling up stuff from the memory bank in order to actually deal with things. The same person that don't want to clean their house will rather throw everything away than to actually look through it to actually figure out what the actual problem is. Yeah, that person. No, just take me out. Take me out of here. That's too much work. I'd rather throw everything away. Let's just throw everything away. I don't feel like looking through it. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to clean it for real. For when you see that the house is swept clean. They don't want to sweep the house clean. Just take me out of here. I'd rather not. I don't want to go through the physical rehabilitation process. I don't want to have to wear a brace on my neck for all this time. I don't want to have to have somebody physically go through the process of doing laser rehabilitation to that area. I don't want to have to have certain things put into my spine so that I can walk. I don't want to have to wear robotic arms or legs. I don't want to have to use a box to write for me for the period of time it may take for this this thing to pass. I don't want to have to. That's too much. Just take me out. Just turn the power off. I don't need it. It's too much. Yeah, in 5 to 10 years, you may be able to regain complete use of your body, but that's too long. Their dignity is bruised. They're embarrassed. I would prefer not to operate in the embarrassment and pity of this situation. Now take me out of here. Elijah, let me go out as a hero. I just slayed all these prophets. Take me out of here. You know? So, ask the Father to take him out. The man literally asks his father because he was the only person that wasn't broken up as he walked through the hospital. As everybody else that was involved in that situation was sitting there crying, Father walked through. He didn't say it, but you knew he was the one that did it. Let's go back to the person that he went ahead and sent the medic to be saved. That man was suicidal. That man was homicidal. He would allow other people to kill other people. Why? Because he had a spirit in him that said, I am destructive. So let me take my destruction and put it on others. Because too much of a coward to deal with himself. So he will also rather take himself out. But he was going to do damage before. That's just like the devil. Ain't it? He know that he is sentenced to never see heaven again. He know he's sentenced to stay down here on earth. He know he's sentenced that he's not gonna get anything any better than this. But the children of God are blessed that they can still be forgiven of their sins and their iniquities. But he ain't never gonna get another chance. He was cast out of heaven and can never go back. Let me take as many people with me. You know somebody like that. Raise your hand. You know somebody that's like that. They bleeding all over everybody else. Here, I drink, come drink with me. Here, I smoke, come smoke with me. Here, I do all kinds of what have you type lifestyle. Come do it with me. I ain't kill nobody. But what you did led them into destroying their lives. Oh, well, I have my own. I don't want to say that. There are people that have HIV, know they got HIV, would rather spread it to other people that don't have HIV because of the fact that they're going to die anyway, right? They got AIDS. They got a death sentence. Let me take you out too. There are people that literally live their lives that way. I know I ain't never gonna get into heaven, so let me see how many people I can take with me. Homicidal murderers. See how many they can take with them. I can't go, so I know my life is ending, so let me take as many of y'all out with me. This is what suicide bombers do. This is what people that commit. Well, I ain't ever gonna get to no place in my life. Let me make sure I drag you down with me. This is why the Lord will separate you from people that will have guilt by association, because people that have guilt by association, they will make sure that you're associated with them when they go down. And sometimes, because you're the good person, they'll throw the bag at you. I remember the movie Save the Last Dance, the character, and then hold it over your head. Hey, I did you a favor, right? Because I did you this favor. You got me though, right? And then you feel guilty, so you gonna keep going in there Leviticus living, lewd living, perverse living, because you feel chained to them, cause just like the devil. We made a deal, right? I cover for you, you cover for me. I got you if you got me, right? That's actually what that guy did. He actually made a deal. He didn't want to see his mama go to jail. So he made a deal. He's like, okay, I'll shut it down. He shut down the website only because he didn't want to see his mother go to jail for what he did. Because she was going to get all his charges. So some people would rather take other people down. The only mercy that guy gave is the fact that he didn't let his mama go to jail for him. Some people will only do what's necessary to save themselves. That guy did not walk out that situation. He was in a wheelchair, but he ended up bargaining a deal. Satan will always try to make a deal to get out of a situation, and more than likely he'll try to do it to trap somebody else. How's he do that? I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be one of our coming to the end points. Let me manipulate you into opening a spiritual door. I'm gonna deal with your emotions. Let me hit an emotional pain point for you, because I know the second that you get hit with an emotional pain point, you're gonna go to that bottle, which is gonna open a door. Then I can come in and I can because remember, this person is paralyzed. They're comfortable in their paralysis, so they're not going to go through the process. They'd rather be taken out, or they'd rather continue to ignore their issue. Still got an issue of blood bleeding all over everybody. Let me take as many other people out. Let me speak death over everybody else, because I am not going to get nothing no better than what I got. Pray for those people. Pray for those people that God is able to get into their heart. They may not have the power or the desire to physically kill nobody else, But some of them will just speak death over somebody. Use that spirit of Leviathan and communication to just speak death over other people and over their lives, over anything that they are doing. Word curse them. Because they can't have it. They're not going to see you have it. That's what God says. Sometimes I gotta separate you from people. Because they never gonna change. And in some cases, they might change. They might end up doing the right thing. They might. That's why you had to send the medic to go help them. You had to send your prayers to go pray for them. You did. But God got to deliver you. You got to put the oxygen mask on you. You got to get self-aware about you and let the Lord deal with you. And he going to deal with them. He going to save them. It may take a minute. But the fact that you sat there and prayed for them, it helped. But I don't see no difference. They still acting the same way. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I heard a story where somebody said that they prayed for somebody to stop smoking for 20 years. And one day the person said, out of the clear blue, you know what, I'm going to stop smoking. That person looked at that person. 20 years they had to pray. Some of you remember the paralyzed man. If it's going to take me 10 to 20 years to get rehabilitation back into my body to be able to walk again and then have to still deal with problems, pains, and so on and so forth with my body, nah, I ain't even going to start that process. Some of y'all stop praying for the person. My pastor always says in his family services, never stop praying for your loved ones. Because you don't know what your prayers are doing. Pray. Keep them in prayer. They may not understand it. And Tiffany Montgomery had a line in one of her prayers where she said, I pray that you open their heart to be able to receive you. Some of y'all ain't even praying that. That's not even a thought that came to your head. Let me pray that they have the heart to receive God when God does approach. So I think I'm pretty much done with this part of the word. So what is the moral of this? Some of you need to become aware of yourselves. Some of you need to understand where people are and position them and compartmentalize them to where they belong. Because some of them may not change while you are in their presence. Everybody sees all things. But God is working in all scenarios. But you can't be a little g God in everybody's life. You got to take the time to take care of you. And God will do the rest. But God cannot bless a person that is pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring for others and not allowing somebody, the medic, to help them, the great physician, to help them, the person that needs to put the oxygen mask on first, because you're putting the oxygen mask on everybody else but you. You would rather run yourself into the ground. And I'm going to give you this example. I wasn't going to say this. I met a woman. She has 1, 2, 3 children and 1 grandbaby. She is the prayer warrior of her household. She has a husband and she has those children. But those children thoroughly disrespect her. And even the infant, the smallest one, learning from the older ones how to treat her, disrespects her. She does everything in that house. Husband works and all of these types of things, but she's the one that's in the lead. She's got to take care of everything because that's just the personality that she has. Got to do everything. Got to do it all. Got to do it. She won't even let the man in her home lead. And it's out of order. There's a child in that house that is a grandbaby to the child that highly disrespects her. But instead of releasing these children unto God and allowing her husband, when he could discipline those kids, she did not allow order because she was the person of God in that house. And that house went into disarray, disrespect, and she's dealt with cancer in her body, trying to hold on to and control all of it. If you do not allow the process, if you do not allow yourself to get oxygen, but she's the prayer woman, so she's getting the she's going to church, she's doing the things, she's running herself in the ground, and it's not helping her, while still getting poison and dirt and other people in her home bleeding all over her, projecting, doing all of this kinds of stuff, and she can't do nothing about it because her home is out of order. Two people can't walk together unless they agree. There is no order. If you don't be self-aware, that can happen. I use that story often. You don't want to become that person. Take care of you before taking care of others takes you out. Because the people that are operating, and I said this in the previous video, if they don't care, you can't help that person. God gonna deal with them. But if you trying to put oxygen on a person that don't care, you will suffocate and die. She has illness in her body. She's dealing with things because she's not allowing order in her home, the right way and the right ordinances of God. She's fighting. Allow, release, recuperate, get the order right. Become self-aware so it don't take you out trying to do and control everything. That's pride. And what does pride do? It comes before a fall. It comes before a fall. So, with that being said, and I'm going to say this. The woman allowed her daughter, the one that was the most nastiest mouth person in her household, to leave for 3 to 6 months. You know that woman got better? She got her life back in her body. She was rejuvenated. She was restored. She was back to herself. People were saying they ain't never seen her. And then when that one came home, she got sicker and worse than she had been before. Don't let other people drain you because you're trying to do for others. Because they will suck the life out of you. Some of those people that you send in the medic to would rather watch you die than allow you to be saved, sanctified, and see your purpose come together. I want to leave you with that. So that's the end of this. Until next time. Bye-bye.